Good morning, friends. Today, yet I'm back within weekdays time. I'm glad and lucky that I took a very small break this last 1 week. And with the thumbnail, you might have got the idea. Basically, today we are going to discuss on the transit. I'll be making transit video of Mars for sure, basically, especially in regular intervals. Because Mars is the action, karka, it's major change, trigger, initiative, and all those things. Mars is basically youth, or nowadays we are looking lot many protests on lot many wars, covert wars, and religious activities, places or tourism locations basically suffering basically. So we recently have seen a blast in Delhi, basically metro station. So in my last month's Scorpio transit video, I have highlighted somehow that some unpleasant activities might be happening in something like that. So, what is new about this Mars transit in Sagittarius? It's a friendly sign. It's a triangle sign from Aries. From a Scorpio, it is one sign ahead. It is the sign of father, luck, guru, higher education, long distance journeys, your bosses, if you are in job life, your gurus, your masters, the inspiration, motivation, luck. So, all those things are basically going to affect. Let me give you the dates first. Mars will be entering into the Sagittarius sign on 7th of December at night near about 8 o'clock. It will be staying near about for 40 or 41 days. Usually Mars takes 45 days in a sign, but this will be a near about 4 5 days less duration. So Mars will be staying for 41 days, and by 16th of December 2026, it will be changing to Aquarius, it's exalted sign, which is a fantastic sign. Basically, we can say that in the early morning of this is as per the Indian standard time. Okay, the people in the different part of the world, they can see the 1 day or 12 day, 12 hour, or I think 16-hour difference in the western part of the world. So based on that, we have got the date. Now, what are the major other planetary features basically at transit which are making influencing this Mars? And what is so special about, or why I have written the warning for all signs? Because Sagittarius is a spiritual sign. It's a sign of rules, regulations. Mars represents the youth. Sagittarius represents the father, guru, law and order, politicians, government, rule making, and lot many things. Basically, major shifting. Basically, although within this 40 days, big things cannot be expected in lot many ways, but uh, we have to look that Mars is getting influenced by which kind of planet. As Mars is currently in the Sagittarius, its sign lord Jupiter will be shifting within this time in the Gemini sign, in the retrograde motion in a Punarvasu, its own nakshatra. Punarvasu means what? Something, letting go something and bringing something new. You can say relocation, reconstruction, re-establishment, or reviving something or something like that. And Gemini sign speaks about students, teenagers nowadays, Gen Z are also basically seen there. So Jupiter kind of a planet, which is I think going through Gemini sign, which was in Atichari accelerated speed motion. Again coming back to Gemini in the Punarvasu nakshatra. So those who have any major planet in the Sagittarius, there might be lot of change related to that. I have made a separate video on retrograde Jupiter related to that. So you can be look at my Jupiter videos for the detail of retrograde Jupiter. Okay. Now, Jupiter's aspect is moderately considered very auspicious, but Jupiter itself in Gemini is very uncomfortable. This is the natural third house of your muscle power. And the planet of muscle power, Mars, is going into Sagittarius, the sign of wisdom, a guru, teacher, father, your bosses, laws, politicians, parliament, higher education, long distance journeys, spiritual centers, motivational centers, universities, school, colleges. So when Mars is in the Sagittarius sign, it is like a youth technical student coming into the university level. You can say the college level or something like that. but Jupiter itself is somewhere in the Gemini. So this can, I think, trigger in lot many ways, in lot many difference of opinion, disagreements, and some big reforms, revolution might happen in the educational point of view, the global level or in the some level. Culture, education, studies will be on the top spot. Some activity related to temple religious places may take. Some terrorist activity or clashes between the youth and the teacher might have due to miscommunication or misconception, or some rebellious activity may get triggered. But any kind of student, if you are a student, or let's say if you are any political activity or something like that, artificial something like that, you will be punished very badly, no matter you're coming from. This is not the right time to mess with the law and order situation in any part of the world. There might be lot of job layoff, lot of, I think, new joining people who might have got degree, and suddenly they might get degree, or their degree might become inefficient in lot many ways. You might have studied for something. Some shocking things can happen in the global part. Okay. And why I'm saying this? Because Jupiter is aspecting with the seventh aspect with this Mars, while the Mars will be in Sagittarius. And Ketu is also putting fifth aspect on this Mars. Now, this is a problematic surprise, shock, setback. You are working on any project, any PhD in education, something like that. If you're going to appear any kind of technical or any exam interview or something, or you are in a very dignified position or something, job loss can happen. Okay, and Saturn is putting the 10th aspect on that. And Mars will join the have the company of planet Sun after 16th of December, when the Sun will be joining. Somewhere Mercury will be joining here. Okay, so this is the background of what Sagittarius is going to happen. Now, specifically by the moon sign ascendant, I will give a small detail which may vary percent to percent. You should not take this as a ultimate prediction for every particular moon sign, because let's say if I'll say something for Aries, it will be within my limited capacity. They may be of different age group, different ascendant, moon sign, and ascendant. You may be going through favorable dasha supporting this transit, or non-favorable dasha. So that can change the course of prediction. For that, you need to go for a professional consultation. You can book the professional consultation. If you are willing to learn astrology professionally, you can also approach me. I'll be dropping down my mobile number, WhatsApp number in the description center. But before you give me a call, better if you put down a message. It's a healthy gesture request if you can do so, because most of the time I'm stuck in the classes of teaching or doing consultations. So sometimes it may happen that you may be calling and I may not be picking, because I have a habit of one time focusing at one student, one client. Sometimes I don't apply my brain in two, three levels. Okay, so that's a humble request. And those people who are watching my video for the first time or have been watching from quite a long time, I request them to put a like on this video, subscribe as much as possible, as we are very much close to the 1000 mark. I'm working on this channel from last 1.5 years. If you have any questions, any doubt, I think you can drop down in the comment section. Okay. So let's begin basically. What Mars in Sagittarius with the influence of other planet on it is holding for every moon sign ascendant. You can take it in moon sign way or Aries ascendant. Both way you can get some smaller idea. So Mars becoming the sign lord of Aries, being an ascendant or a moon sign, is the ascendant lord, the body, self, your life, your personality, reputation, and eighth house lord of in-laws, inheritance, longevity, uncertainty, setback, shock, or something like that. Post-marriage scenario or something like that. Whenever Mars comes into the ninth house, it is the sign of father, luck, higher education, your bosses, your job. So there are some dangers basically attached to the people who are working in any management industries, any organization. You might have a conflict or difference of opinion with a superior. Suddenly, you might see a layoff position, and these people are currently going through Sarasati also. So, if any unfavorable dasha of Ketu, Rahu, Mars, or Saturn is currently in your operation, this Mars can give you setback through your bosses. Your father might meet some challenges, injury, accident, hospital related issues. younger and brothers and siblings might have a conflict during that time. This is not a idle period for joining any new education or something like that. You may be deceived or might be cheated or you might get setback or something. Issues related to married life or spouse or in-laws matter, you'll be pulled to court of the law. So this is not the right time to mess with somebody. This is a time to be very calm, composed, and deal with something. But some kind of setback may come up because you may be unnecessarily pulled to the court of law due to miscommunication or misinformation. So be very careful on the social media or anywhere what you write, what you speak. Don't speak without solid facts, references. Arguing with the teacher, gurus may put you in trouble. Unnecessary conflict may arise in your life, the job life, whether you are in college life, whether you are into work life. This Mars transit is not a very favorable transit. But if any dasha in your original chart, Jupiter is in good position, you may get a promotion also. You may certain elevated to the nice position. You may win some competition in some debate, discussion, argument. And you may be, if you are living into the foreign land, you may be forced to leave your country, that country due to job loss and something. Some crisis might trigger. If you are making any long distance travel by air travel or water route or train or driving by itself, this is a very risky venture with the family because K2 is putting aspect. Let's say you are going for the tourism or for any higher education through any train or something like that, any kind of political or commercial activity as a businessman or something. You should be very careful in any kind of long distance journeys. If you are starting on Tuesday or Thursday or Saturday, some mishap, some accident, some attack is quite possible. You may be stuck into a group of people or something like that. Invisible surprise or something like that. That's a quite possible trouble with your father, especially mother and also. So you should be very careful. You are under the Sari Sati. So Aries sign is in extremely hot scenario. This is not an ideal period for marriage or something like that, changing any organization for job or something like that until unless you are forced to do so. Okay. So I will rate it up as a 40 out of 100. This is not a very good transit for the Aries people. Basically, if your Mars and Jupiter are well placed and Dasha are good, then you don't have to take my word seriously. Okay. That was for Aries, Moon Aries ascendant. Now let's come to the Taurus ascendant. India, Bharat is also a Taurus ascendant with a Cancer moon sign. So for India, basically, Mars is the lord of seventh house, the opposition, political party, or business interest. Or as a Taurus person, your Taurus represents family, institutions, and family members. It's a sign of family, wealth, food, hotel, restaurant, banks, and everything. As an individual also, and Mars is the 12th lord of your bedroom life, litigation, hospital, foreign travel, foreign resident, and marriage, spouse, or something like that, any kind of extramarital affair. So if Mars is going into the eighth house, Mars is a Marka lord and a 12th lord. It will be going into the eighth house. It may create trouble with your spouse. This is not an ideal time for dating or matchmaking or something like that, going for marriage or looking for spouse. There might be a lot of secrets. Somebody may face some friction in married life. If you are already married, this is a threatful period for you and your spouse. Some mysterious things might happen. You might lose some money in litigation or you will be pulled to something. But some secret inheritance might come up to you. Either some issues will be resolved in the court of law or something might come in your favor. But honestly speaking, Ketu putting, so somehow basically you might be forced to leave your comfort zone and go to do something. Especially if you are a businessman, this is not a right time to start a new venture or trying to looking for easy money, any kind of stock market investment and something. Trouble with the in-laws, trouble with the spouse, threat to the spouse or threat from the spouse. Certainly, some such secret may come upon in front of you, which might make you very uncomfortable. Trust may be breached, trouble may be broken. But there are, because eighth house transit is mostly a problematic zone. Even with your family, if you are traveling to some historic places or ancestor places, be very careful. I do not recommend any kind of travel, new business deal or something. Whatever old is going on, continue with that. Don't start any new investment because Mars is also the 12th lord. Applying for visas for foreign may be rejected or some litigation may happen. Some education related trouble might happen. So trouble with your brother-in-law or something might get triggered. So issue with the family member, your family and in-laws family may create a lot of a separation kind of a situation may happen. So that was the effect for the Taurus moon sign, Taurus ascendant. Now let's come to the sign Gemini, where Jupiter will be shifting and Mars will be coming opposite to that. For Gemini, Moon Gemini ascendant, Mars happens to be the Lord of 11th house of income, elder brother, friends, network, achievement. Okay, sixth Lord of job, colleagues, and both is coming into the seventh house. So this will be a mixed bag kind of a situation. Either you will win some competition, either you will get married to one of your colleague, but you have to be very careful. You must have a proper background check. You might some achieve great things in business in certain way or good way because Jupiter aspecting somewhere, but Jupiter is a Bala Karaka here also. But Ketu putting fifth aspect on this and Saturn putting 10th. So there might some barrier challenges in that, but honestly speaking, at this time, don't try to date or don't try to open up too much with the unknown people or mixing up on the social media or anywhere within your friends. Somebody may betray you. On the other hand, you may gain something like that. But this may be a very conflicting scenario because Mars in the seventh house technically is not a very comfortable position. You may be pulled to unnecessary drama, litigation within your work environment. This is not a time for paying attention on something basically which is not very usual. You must be very much focused on something. If you are a businessman, you might face some setbacks, some losses, or some sudden gains is quite possible. Because K2 in third house will not give you the extreme benefit the way things you desired. Some separation might happen in the old married life. Trouble with the litigation, some health issues might trigger, some accident injuries are also quite possible. You will attract unnecessary enemy due to debate, discussion, meaningless debate, discussion. You will be trying to discuss and trying to save something, but the other person might be behaving like a complete headstrong person, may not be willing to look your side. You may be dragged to unnecessary conflict litigation. People of media industry should be very careful. This can be very dangerous to you. To people in the social media, if you're writing something, speaking something on the spiritual context, you may be pulled to the court of law or something. A large section of group may attack you. At this, I would like to say 1 month, freedom of expression around the globe will be a big problem. People may not be having a healthy communication. People might become very radical. Sometimes they may not apply their brain or think far side because Gemini retrograde Jupiter will reduce the power of Jupiter communication. So unnecessary debate, discussion, financial losses, and something like that. You may be spending unnecessary money in the waste. So this is not a very ideal transit for Mars for Gemini, but certain gains may be there basically just because Jupiter is putting aspect and Mars is the 11th lord. But it is the sixth lord also, loss of a job, getting a new job. Some old business deal may come up into the loss or some old money stuff will come into you right now. So mixed bag kind of a situation is going to happen for the Gemini moon, Gemini ascendant. Then fourth sign basically coming in the picture is the Cancer moon, Cancer ascendant, and I think for them Mars happens to be one of the best planet. I think fifth house lord of your punya education, gain from the business, children's, and 10th house of your career profession. Mars into the sixth house and sixth lord aspecting, which is the ninth lord also, and Saturn is also putting. So if you are stuck into court litigation, some separation, anything court related litigation is happening, you are applied for divorce or you are stuck into any issues related to visas or litigation may get materialized. Mars somehow will give you the victory over the adverse circumstances, but issue with related to your father, your children, hospital related issues might bother you in some way or other way. But technically, Mars in the sixth house is a fantastic planet. But some stomach related issues should be very careful. Be very careful with the stomach. Any kind of long distance journeys toward overseas or due to work related should be very careful. There might be some friction, competition with your colleagues, people working under you, with your mates, people. This is not the right time to take fight with somebody because Saturn will be expecting it. You might enter into unnecessary issues with your guru's teacher, but somehow basically this will benefit you. Some sudden gain, sudden achievement, or lost money will be coming to you. You might have lended money to somebody, you might have invested money in something, and that money was stuck. So this money will come to you. Childbirth in a family is quite possible, but for marriage date, I think this is not an ideal period. If you are having any extramarital affair with your colleagues or somebody, this may put you in trouble. But somehow, I think things are favorable for the Cancer moon, Cancer ascendant. Technically, Mars in 3, 6, 10, 11 is usually good, but aspected by retrograde Jupiter in Ketu. Any member within your family might face some hospital related issue, separation, and something is quite possible. Okay. Now coming to the Leo ascendant, where basically Leo moon, Leo ascendant, they are going through the Dhaya effect of Saturn, and Jupiter, which was in the 12th house, has shifted again back to the 11th house of gain achievement, which somehow seems to be a positive planetary position. And Mars is one of the best planet, fourth lord and ninth lord, into the fifth house with the Jupiter, Ketu in the ascendant. But decision making should be very careful. Should not go for any gambling. There might be a childbirth in a family is possible. Some gain in higher education, getting some degrees, taking admission for children's, starting any business venture will be a good effort. I think try something new. You might meet some old friends, relatives within your family, but should be very careful with the father, gurus, teacher, bosses. Although I would say fifth house Mars transit is not very bad or not very good, depending upon the original placement of Mars. If you're going through a good dasha, possibility of getting marriage triggered within the family, childbirth is quite possible, or sometimes miscarriage is also possible if the Jupiter, the original chart is not good. But any speculative activity or trying to put money in something, buying property or gaining some property, will be a favorable position for you, Leo moon sign, Leo ascendant. Okay. So that was for Leo, and now we come to the Virgo ascendant, Virgo moon sign people. For them, Mars is the lord of eighth and third house. Eighth house is adversity, litigation. Third house is your environment, short travel, something like that, and Jupiter being the fourth lord and seventh lord. So some issue within your family, trouble might be there basically. Be very careful with your mother, landed property. Your home environment might face some litigation issue with the mother. Mother-in-law is quite possible with the spouse. Some landed property, some issues with there. So you might gain something also suddenly, but on the other side, the home environment will not be very pleasant. This is not a right time for taking any conflict with your business partners or anything related to that, related to health also. You should be very careful. If there is a cruel planet sitting in Sagittarius, especially you are a very old age person, any accident, injury can happen with your body and something like that, because Jupiter is a Marka planet and Mars is the eighth lord. So some setback from the business partner, spouse, litigation, all these things are quite possible. One of your younger siblings or your neighbor might interfere in your family affairs, and you should be very careful what you are sharing to the public. If any conflict is happening within your family life or something like that, don't try to pull it into the court of law or outside your life. It will affect your career, married life, your family life. It will take away the peace of your life. I would like to say for a Virgo ascendant, this is not a very favorable transit. If you have any old related enemies within your family, they might try to attack you in some way or other way. Issues within the sibling, parents, spouse, husband, wife might bother. Something related to property litigation may bother. So this is not a very ideal time. I would like to say for Virgo moon, Virgo ascendant, this Mars transit is extremely very scary. Unpleasant scenario can take place within your family life if there is a Saturn, Rahu, Ketu originally sitting in Sagittarius or Gemini. The career point of view also, you might lose a job or setback, something like that. You might be working from a quite a long time waiting for appraisal growth, or you will be a job seeker. This is not a very appropriate time. You should be very careful what you speak into the public life, because somehow you will be provoked to do something. Although Rahu in the sixth will somehow try to protect you, but Saturn in the seventh, litigation coming from the spouse and mother might bother in some way or other way. This is not an ideal time for starting a new business investment in any way. Okay. Then coming back to the Libra sign, Libra moon, Libra ascendant, Mars happens to be the second lord, seventh lord coming into the third, getting aspect from the Saturn from the sixth and Ketu from the 11th. Some promotion, some growth in the family, member may increase in your family. Marriage point of view, I think this is a moderately a good period, but litigation with your bosses, colleagues may not be very good. If your any boss or any superior, senior was, I think, creating trouble for you in the job life, you're stopping your promotion, you will win that challenge in something. For Libra moon, Libra ascendant, this is a good transit. Financially, you will get a increment growth in business, job, or something in profession. You will get limelight. You might travel to some good destination location with the family. So somehow this will give you a beneficial result to the Libra moon, Libra ascendant with the dasha and the dasha is supporting you. A childbirth in a family is possible. Might meet your spouse in your travel journey, job, colleague somewhere, but if love marriage or new affair, for that, this is not a very right period. But somehow that can trigger also. But I'll not say it's a bad for the Libra people, but you should be very careful with which kind of people are surrounded by your network, because Ketu in 11th is a very scary planet. Surprise within your group, your member, somebody who is very jealous, some uh, incident, accident can take place, is cannot be denied, because somehow Ketu making connection to Mars and retrograde Jupiter. So some of your colleague may be backbiting you, some of your bosses might create that trouble, but somehow this transit will give you an edge over other sign. After Cancer, Libra is the second best sign for which Mars somehow will pull out the good results depending upon the dasha, antardasha is in your favor. Okay, so that was for Libra. Then we will come to the Scorpio ascendant, where for which Mars is the lord of Lagna and the sixth house coming into the second, Jupiter being a second and fifth lord going into the eighth, and Ketu in the 10th and Saturn in the 5th. For the job point of view, this is not a very careful time. Be very careful with your speech, with your family members. There might be possible death in your family, anybody, youth, old age, anybody, children. This is a very dicey and a scary period. This is not a right time to take any fight litigation within the family, within the business, marriage, something. Saturn putting 10th aspect, lot of financial losses might happen. You might put money, invest on health issues, job setback. You might lose your job, or business might be having a problem with the spouse, marriage. This is not an ideal time for marriage or something. For Scorpio moon, Scorpio ascendant, I think for next, I think 40-45 days, be very careful with your speech. Sixth Lord coming to your second house, getting aspected by Jupiter from the eighth. If you're an old age parent, father or mother, this is not ideal time to put pressure on your children for education, something. They may take some such kind of education, putting any pressure for marks or something. This is not a very right time to take such kind of task, becoming very harsh to your old age parents, grandparents, or your in-laws or something. This might create a big challenge, trouble for you. Next 40 days, you should be very careful. You'll be speaking fire. You may not be thinking what you may be speaking. If your dasha, antardasha is of any cruel planet in operation, this can create a big trouble in your life. Financial losses, health losses. Somebody may attack you on your face or body, because six lord within your family. Any guest coming to your family, unwanted guest or something, job losses, colleague challenges, something might create. If you have done any litigation with the law and order, will be pulled to the court of law for unnecessary reason. You might go through false allegation. You may be speaking something and people may perceive it as a something different. So for Scorpio ascendant, also this is a Marka position. If any Marka Dasha is going on, if you are a very old age person, this is not a right time to go for any kind of journey, any kind of investment with the family, the long distance or something like that, fight for something. Okay. So that was little bit scary for the Scorpio people. Now we will come to the main sign Sagittarius, where Mars is basically coming. Mars is the lord of fifth house of your education, academic studies, your children's, your grandfather, your decision making, your creativity. Coming into the first house, while Jupiter becoming the fourth and seventh lord going to the seventh house. Issue with the children, if you are married, issue with the spouse might trigger. This is not ideal time for marriage or starting new relationship. There might be unnecessary tussle. You will be trying to win over your spouse or trying to impose your own thought or in business, in partnership, in politics, in anything, because Mars coming into your ascendant, becoming a 12th lord and getting aspect from the Ketu from the ninth, you might create some misadventure. If you are a father, if you are a son, this is not a hard time to force something to somebody. Although Rahu will provoke you to do something, Saturn in the fourth house may make you uncomfortable. There might be some friction within the family. If you are a guru, if you are a teacher, if you are a professor, if you are a politician, you should be very careful. Some attack on your life is quite possible. Surprise, sudden attack, long distance journey, business anywhere. If you're having any business, showroom, jewelers, if you're a professor, if you're elder son of the family, you should be extremely careful. If you're spiritual guru, spiritual masters, anybody dealing with that position, you should be very careful because Saturn's 10th aspect. Saturn is a Marka planet aspecting. Somebody within your family may backstab you or try to harm you. But somehow Mars being a fifth lord will be advantageous also. Will be winning some good reputation, position despite of conflict in a lot many things. Although I don't welcome first house Mars, you will become some restless. Something will come to your favor, but you will lose also something. Why? Because Mars is the 12th lord, secret enemy, secret investment. Some finances may enter stuck into some investment. Okay, if you are living in the foreign land working something, some setback is quite possible. You might take head on to your bosses, superior colleagues, with your business partners. This may put you into the bad zone, basically. Some might create a trouble related to property, wealth, teachers, difference of opinion. This is not right time to apply the kinetic Martian energy. This will be like a trap for you. This is a mixed bad period for, I'll not say completely bad. You will somehow win in certain way, but at a cost of something, you might regret it later. So that was for Sagittarius. Now coming to the Capricorn moon sign and Capricorn ascendant, although for them Mars happens to be the fourth lord and 11th lord of gains, income, going into the 12th house of litigation, losses, court, something. Saturn in the third, Ketu in the eighth. So if you're planning for visas, something related issues, that you will meet a setback. You one of your friend may behave like a secret enemy within your life, within your elder brother may act like that. Your mother might sometime may create a trouble for you if you have a trouble with your retreat mother. So you should be very calm, composed with your mothers, with your friends. You cannot blindly trust or put any investment, buying property, landed something, planning to go to overseas for education, for job or something. May meet such kind of dream desire may get shattered, or you might get an opportunity also possible. But Jupiter aspecting in a retrograde might give you financial losses also. You will be pulled out of your job position, or demotion or something might happen. Although Saturn in the third will be somehow good, trying to protect you, but some financial losses due to health, due to self, mother, spouse, your friends, family, some construction work in the family might happen. Unnecessary expenditure, litigation stress might bother you. So for Capricorn Moon ascendant, this is not a very idle transit. Mars in 12th house is extremely pathetic planet. You will be dragged to unnecessary conflict. So this is not the right time to make new friends, new investment, trusting some people. You might meet some digital fraud, or somebody may try to harm your image or something like that. So this is a little bit scary. Going to any spiritual center for yatra, spiritual journey with your parents, family. This is not the right month, right time. Then let's come to the Aquarius ascendant, basically where Sagittarius happens to be the 11th house lord. Mars is the third lord and 10th lord coming into the 11th. Although Aquarius moon ascendant people are into the last phase of Saraswati, with Jupiter aspecting this Mars, Ketu in the 7th. Although this will be a fantastic period for the Aquarius moon, Aquarius ascendant people. Why I am saying that 11th house Mars can make you win, get promotions. Your business will do. You might get honor. You'll meet some very powerful, influential people. If you're unemployed, you will get a job opportunity or good things might happen with you. Promotion in life. Your brothers, your siblings will help you like anything. Some lost old money will come back to you. Will gain something like that. So you have to be. I would like to, if you can encash this transit with the dasha supporting you at this point of time, will help you like anything. For Aquarius Moon Ascendant both, this transit is going to be fabulous. If your other dasha transit is helping, some big gains might come into you. Some long-awaited investment in stocks, property might give you a big gains in your life. And Mars, but you have to be very careful with your speech. Don't be very arrogant, be humble, because somebody within your family will be jealous about your friends, colleague, or some unknown enemy will be there. But for next 1 month, I would like to say Mars will be excellent for all Aquarians next 1 month. If you can capitalize this transit in a constructive manner, don't try to argue, fight, work in a teamwork. Any intellectual guru, anybody guide will come into your life and give you the good direction to restructure, settle your life in good way. Because 10th Lord in 11th house, third Lord in 11th house, aspected by uh, second Lord, 11th Lord, great gains, great achievement. Something, some of your old desire may get fructify within this time. You will meet some old aspirations will be met in business, in job, in family. A childbirth in a family is possible. Marriage is possible. Some reward, recognition is quite possible. So for Aquarius Moon Ascendant, this is a fantastic transit. If any unnecessary Dasha or Jupiter Mars are not ill placed, then whatever I have stated, you will feel within next 40 days. Otherwise, there will be a very neutral average transit, depending upon other factors. Now coming to the Pisces moon sign, Pisces ascendant, they are under the stress of Saraswati second level, Ketu in the sixth, Rahu in the 12th, Saturn in the ascendant being 11th lord, and Mars coming to the 10th house, being the second and ninth lords. For them also, they might waiting for some job opportunity. They might get some job position promotion will be there, but not completely as per the expectation. You have to sacrifice. You have to pay a big price for that. Why? Saturn putting aspect on Mars and Ketu putting aspect. So somehow you have to at this time, if opportunities or something comes to you, may not be very as per your expectation. Let's say you're trying to change some job from one job to different job. This opportunity at this point of time may not give you the desired package, growth, promotion. But if you pick up right now, invest right now, in the long run, this will be a great decision in your chart. Basically, I would like to say if you especially see any opportunity after 20th December when the sun joins the Mars, so you will win over any competition, any activity, but somehow you will feel that you are not getting that much result as per the, because Saturn and Ketu are putting a blockage. Although retrograde Jupiter will try to give you some surprise gains, growth in some way or other way. You might come out, get some honor, prestige, recognition, something in education life or something might happen good. But again, I think for marriage or any job change, until unless you don't find any suitable opportunity, this is not a very right time to take some big calls for job, profession, or putting investment in something. But within a family, maybe a marka situation for your father, somebody within the family might suffer hospital-related issues, trouble, surgery, health issues, financial losses, expenditure might be somehow low, but this might be giving you a lot of challenging scenario because Saturn, Mars aspecting each other may create trouble to your body. So if you are going to any spiritual center, spiritual places for pilgrimage, long distance journey, air travel, water travel, road travel, be very careful because Saturn being a 12th lord in ascendant may make you completely blind. You may be trying to do charity. whom you are giving charity, whom you are investing. They may not be like theft, accident, injury, something is quite possible. But somehow Mars and Jupiter will protect you. But under the Saraswati effect, if you are going through any bad dasha, you may be pulled to any litigation, court of law, job loss is also quite possible. Look, most of the time people might be saying that I have spoken most of the time negative about it. Why I am saying this? Because when Ketu and Saturn both aspect Mars, and retrograde Jupiter from Gemini, which is not a very comfortable sign for Jupiter, you will see wise people will be very mute at this point of time. Unwise people will be behaving like mad people, like desperation and something like that. Although Mars in Sagittarius is a very fantastic placement, it's a very calculative, wise Mars. But Mars will be, I think, provoked like anything. Gurus, teacher, professor, some influential people might get provoked at this point of time and might say something which will create a big trouble. A conflict litigation may happen. Any kind of religious places, train travels, people going to any kind of travel for next 1 month for like can say with the family, with the official tour or something like that, religious centers, spiritual temples, from trains, from buses. There might be some explosion, terrorist activity, or Pahalgam kind of activity can trigger possibility. I am not saying that our agencies will prevent or not prevent. They will do their best, but precaution is better than cure because Mars in Sagittarius is getting some big influential spiritual master guru might see some attack, life threat. They might lose a life. There might be some leader assassination possible. Spiritual master might die or something like that. So all fathers, spiritual masters, guru, politician, influential figure maybe faced attack or something like that. So as per the India's chart, I would like to say any kind of hilly location. I think places like Gujarat, Maharashtra, or something related to this area. Although Mars is in the Sagittarius sign, so I think any hilly location, spiritual center like Akshardham, or I would like to say any kind of temple in the western part of India should be very careful. But Jupiter is also somewhere, some earthquake, some natural calamity, unnecessary rainfall, or something might happen. There's a quite possibility of such kind of thing. Any kind of war, I think conflict or civil unrest might also happen. A riots kind of a thing. So be very careful. You are traveling, sitting to which kind of people. This is not a time to trust any new people in your life. Stay with the status quo which is going on as per. Okay. Or some people like army men, policemen, firefighting, fire incidents might happen. Any kind of train journey, flight journey with a group, family members should be very careful. Spiritual centers, yoga, school, universities. Although winter vacation will be coming, all the parents be very careful. Your child is not eating external unknown people's food or something like that. Although any kind of black magic activity may not work that completely, somehow Mars will protect them. So this was my small detail on Mars transit. Lot of people might agree, may not agree also. That is quite okay. Welcome with me. So if you have any specific question, doubt, you can drop down into comment section. So friends, this was my today's input, my observation, mini observation, not a prediction or a verdict based on moon sign ascendant. So I request all of you globally stay safe, stay healthy, protect yourself. This is not a right time to get into any argument on the religious lines, political lines. You may never know which kind of people may be acting in the form of terrorist, sleeper cells or something, wearing the mask of somebody and stabbing, attacking. So there might be lot of things might happen in lot many places, but it is called reforms. This is the sign of reforms. Some great things in terms of law, society, education, some big achievement may also come up with this Mars. Some old issues may be resolved and some new things will get take place in the life. Okay. So that was my input on Mars transit in Sagittarius. Anybody willing to take professional consultation or willing to learn astrology professionally can message me on my WhatsApp number and dropping down in the description center. So friends, please put a like, subscribe and share to make me reach the 1000 mark and make this channel successful. If you have any doubt, query, disagreements, also drop down into comment section. I'll be coming very soon in the first week of December with some more exciting videos. Okay. So that was today's session, friends. See you soon.